to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Welcome in. Tuesday, November 25th. Mike Wright, Jason Moore, Andy Holloway, the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Welcome in, one and all. It is Megalodon Week. We have a Megalodon episode for you tomorrow. All of the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday content jammed into one extra large shark.
I plan on going to sleep at noon today in preparation.
Is that different than...
Yeah, I don't usually go to bed at noon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a little touch
You
early.
did for a few years based on our eating choices at lunch.
Oh, that's true, but that's a nap. I meant like full bedtime.
I will never forget driving back in the early days of the Fantasy Footballers to our upstairs office, also known as a bedroom. And
it's upstate studio.
And Mike and I would be sitting in the front because you were always so gracious to give the taller, manlier men the front seats.
Well, I wanted to stretch out.
And we'd be driving back and talking and trying to strategize, build the company. And I'd look in my rear view mirror.
I'm telling you, I don't remember any of this.
And you don't, do you?
No, I don't.
And you'd sit in the middle, and so you'd be right in that rearview mirror, and I'd see your head back.
Yeah. That's called the Raising Cane's delight.
Man.
Yeah, and you would, ironically, he'd sound a little bit like a Megalodon
Truly a delight.
in the back seat. But no, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. It is waiver day. It is week 13 in the NFL season. We had some sweats last night in our League of Record with the Carolina 49er football game.
What was that?
Not a lot of fun.
What? Sir. Sir.
Is
First
it
and goal
Roger.
on the 1. And we have Rico Dowdle, and we're like, you know what we're going to do? They'll never see this coming. Interception. What are you doing?
Well, interceptions were a big part of the night. That was kind of
they
the
were.
feature. 5 of them.
Brock Purdy had 3 first-half interceptions, which is why it was such a close game at 20-9. This was a real boring
Any
game.
changes of opinion on Ricky Pearsall?
I
I mean, we're now twice.
I
this
think
is why
he's
I had
got like
to prove
6
it.
total yards.
Sure.
No, it makes sense. He did have the end zone. One of the interceptions was an underthrown deep end zone target, which was not his fault, Brock's fault. But he puts a better ball on there. You singing a different song.
singing a different tune. Scoop by Bailey do. What do you?
I did have a Tetaroa McMillan touchdown, which we can be thankful for that.
Yeah, sort of
saving the
saved
evening.
that game. He had 7 targets. He caught 2 of them.
Yeah, gross game. I mean, Rico Dowdle.
Okay, 6 carries.
Yeah, that's the problem.
What are you doing, man?
What should you do what the other guys do? 24 carries for Christian McCaffrey.
Where did the games go where they're like, guys, we're losing. Don't care. Give the ball to Rico.
That's how they've won.
It's so yesterday's game plan was so weird.
6.3 yards a carry, but only 6.
Yeah. George Kittle 6 for 78. CMC caught a bunch of passes again. Juwan Jennings has been the better wide receiver to play over the last couple of weeks, and Brock Purdy looked bad, and Bryce Young looked bad. Right after 450 yards in the NFC Player of the Week, we've got 169 with 2 picks.
Oh, the Falcons. What kind of defense are you?
For next week?
No, for the 448 yards that Bryce Young put
I
up.
gotcha.
This is why I consider making Tyrod Taylor a streaming candidate this week. I'm like, man, if Bryce Young could put up 448 against you.
Right.
But then you were like, I'd be the dude that made
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor my streaming
sometimes you
candidate.
got to get Christian McCaffrey, 31 touches.
Yeah.
Bryce Young has not thrown for 200 yards on the season outside of that one game.
Yeah, that sounds like Justin Fields had the one game against Cincinnati or whatever. Like, every once in a while a defense doesn't show up to work. Let's talk some news.
News and notes from around the league, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Bryce Young actually threw for 328 against the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah.
I was looking at
You were dead wrong, is what you're saying.
I was dead wrong. I was since late September, 121, 150,
There you go.
198, 199, 131.
Yeah.
Those are Lamar Jackson
124.
numbers.
Yeah.
Ooh. I just like that
gross.
the coach saw last week the 448 and he's like, I'm changing everything.
Oh, right.
Well,
Yeah,
Bryce is back, baby.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, we don't need Rico.
we have the official announcement that Shedeur Sanders has been named the starting
Yeah.
quarterback.
Here we go.
I hesitate to venture into the waters of polarizing Shedeur Sanders conversation.
Oh, man.
But this is a show built on conversation. And I will say this. If you saw Kevin Stefanski's locker room speech, it made me laugh.
I did not see it.
It's like, let me see if I can put it on display because I don't remember the exact words. But he's in the locker. Shout out to the punter, baby. We did that thing, baby. Let's go. Shout out to this guy. Let's go. And then a rookie had a good game. Nice job, Shedeur. All right, we got it. I mean, it was like if he could not have Shedeur in the zip code, he'd be so thrilled. Which makes me wonder if Shedeur's okay.
Shedeur Sanders, the game was for the climate of Shedeur Sanders. It was perfection. Because if you're on Team Sanders, you think that he got hosed. He's a good prospect. Well, he went out there and he won. He was the first Browns rookie to win his first game in like
forever.
Forever. If you don't like Shedeur, he completed like what
55%
of his passes,
11 total completions.
He had the touchdown was just a screen pass, and he did. I can't remember the number, but it was like very, very few of his actual completions were downfield or past the line of scrimmage. So, but he did have some. He had a couple good plays. It was perfection for
whatever you want to see.
Both sides.
Whatever you want to see. Because he did make some good plays.
He did.
There were 2 downfield plays that were really good. They were caused, by him. And then he had a bunch of really bad looking plays.
Yeah, and I get it. Like if you watch him talk in an interview, you want to punch him. I mean, he just says the most ridiculous things.
He's very confident in himself.
Did you see the
I hope
1
he's
week of
good.
practice thing?
No.
That was 1 week of practice. That was just 1 week of practice. It's funny. I mean, I want to see him succeed because I think it's great for the Browns. It's great for the NFL. You have a young man who is one of the most electric players in college football. I'd rather him go out there and give me something exciting than the milquetoast of Dylan Gabriel. No disrespect. I mean, disrespect.
You can't. No,
I can't really disclaim them when I say milquetoast.
I said no disrespect.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, he'll start again. Is the point? He's going to start again, and we'll have all the same entertainment.
Exciting.
And the Raiders say they believe Ashton Genty's late game ankle injury is not severe. We still put Raheem Mostert into our waiver pickups because you never know with these ankle injuries. It can suddenly become something it's not. And Pete Carroll, he said, I haven't heard that it was going to limit him. It sounds like there's a chance he'll be okay. That's not enough for me.
That means there's a chance he's not okay.
Yep.
And he doesn't have any assistants left to rely on for that information. So.
No, yeah, what he's got. Greg Olson is back, everybody.
Oh,
legend of the fantasy footballers, Greg Olson.
2 different times in his storied career, he has had a top 10 points per game team.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
Twice in like 20 years. And they were both number 10.
He was a Raiders OC in 13 and 14, Raiders OC in 18 through 21. Took a little time on the couch last year, and now he's back.
Oh, man.
Because he's the most affordable OC in the game.
He was the quarterback coach with the Seahawks with Pete Carroll, so I think that's where they met up. He must be the nicest guy.
Oh, man.
Just lovable.
Get ready for some
this'll fix it.
Get ready for some positive field punts, guys.
Baker Mayfield. No fracture, no structural damage. Adam Schefter reporting AC joint sprain that is on the shoulder that he doesn't throw with. So they're not ruling him out for this game. And
shoot it up. Just put a needle in it. Get out there, Baker.
I don't know what's happening to Jason this week.
It's Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's Megalodon week, and Jason's already on vacation.
He is he is shooting from the hip. Jaden Daniels is returning to practice this week. A long shot to play this week.
Absurd.
You think so?
No,
Well,
I'm
just
certain that he's
from
back.
Because the injury was so
gruesome
What
looking.
we saw, the fact. I mean, that was a season-ending injury,
That was
should have been.
and he's like, "Oh, just give me a couple weeks."
I'm just thrilled he got to keep the arm.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
serious.
Like, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like, look away. Hide your kids.
Yeah, it's a
I
good.
mean, just like a couple twists, and just that thing was just
Right, yeah.
right off.
Yeah, I'm carving a turkey here soon. I know these joints, you just slide it right through.
Oh,
That comes right
gross.
off.
Come on, man.
But hey,
That's a man's arm.
not this week. But I'm thrilled that he's back.
J.J.
Potentially.
McCarthy
Oh man.
is in the concussion
Oh.
protocol.
Okay. All right. Move. Okay.
Per KOC, Max Brosmer would be in line to start if McCarthy can't go, who is an undrafted free agent out of Minnesota.
Man.
Stream of the week. He'll probably be great.
I mean, Max Brosmer could be the starting quarterback,
Oh.
and that could be better.
I don't want to publicly doubt that he has the symptoms. It's just that's some fortunate timing
Yeah.
for the Minnesota Vikings to be like, "Well,
wait.
we wanted to get him. We're just so
Did you say fortunate or unfortunate?
fortunate for the Vikings."
Okay. Unfortunate for
Yes.
McCarthy.
I'm saying for the coaching staff to be like, we totally were going to play J.J. McCarthy this week, guys. All the confidence. He just can't.
You know what's wild is I feel
And-
like these things happen. Like Kyler, right? Like Kyler was probably ready to play, and then they don't play him. But you know what never happens is these guys never come out in public. It's like Kyler.
Oh,
doesn't-
you can't do
Kyler.
that.
I know.
That's full out war against your management.
I agree, but if you really are being
Well, it makes you look bad. Not just like, oh, I'm talking out against my organization.
Yeah.
But like he's got the warm blanket of I didn't get benched. So does Kyler. Like it's like it wasn't play. I got hurt. So don't worry about it. give me a contract next
Yeah.
year. Let me start.
Yeah. Well, look, McCarthy, it's pretty impossible to play worse than McCarthy. So Max Brosmer has that going for him. The practice window has been open for Darren Waller.
Okay.
So there is
Okay.
there is the chance he makes an impact in your fantasy playoffs.
There's a chance.
Joe Burrow listed as a full participant on the estimated practice report.
If you didn't catch Joe Burrow's announcement on his Instagram with the photo of a very tight-fitting Cleveland Cavaliers jersey,
I'm not going
It
to
was
say
very funny.
he had boobs, but he had boobs.
Yeah.
T. Higgins ruled out, though.
he looked better than I would look in that tight jersey. It'd be some spillage.
Some overflow.
Yeah.
He's coming out of the jersey. Josh Jacobs limited with the knee. We'll see if he makes it back. T. Higgins, if you didn't hear me, ruled out with a concussion. He won't play against Baltimore. So we've got Yoshi Voss on the waiver list today.
Mm-hmm.
Jamar Chase will return after his incredible written apology to everyone but Jalen Ramsey. Incredible.
Wait, he did an apology?
Oh, an incredible apology.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, multi-paragraphs.
Who did?
Jamar Chase.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he took
nice.
full responsibility for his actions.
But he
He
didn't
He
spit.
apologized to the Steelers
What
organization.
actions did he apologize
Yeah.
for?
He did. I think he kind of took it on the chin,
Okay.
except for he didn't apologize to one man. One man that he spit on. I mean, if I spit on you, Jason, and I apologize to everybody in this office,
I would accept.
So if you get suspended for a game for spitting, now I'm not saying spitting is good or you should spit on people. Yuck.
You should not.
You should not. Yuck.
I'm
Yeah,
very against
but
it.
also in the game you're getting sweat. You're probably getting saliva on each other on accident.
Yeah, but getting drooled on is not
How
getting
many
spit
games
on.
do you get for punching a dude in the nards?
Oh,
okay, because yesterday,
Yeah. Oh.
straight up,
Just a Nard attack.
lower down, uppercut to the sack,
right in the Nard wall.
just now. If you didn't see this, that was after
nothing
the game.
you said was inaccurate.
No, it was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
when Kyle Shanahan comes out and says literally, he's like, "What do you have to say to Juwan Jennings for going and attacking him?" He goes, Yeah, it was a cheap shot. He punched him in the balls.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of Juwan Jennings.
Well, he's
Yeah,
like,
'cause
I'm
he
proud
didn't-
that he didn't go nuclear
Yeah,
on
he
him.
didn't like do the Karate Kid kick.
It was
I mean,
borderline. You get on one knee and whoop!
it was like, I would like to propose. Just kidding. You're in your
Punch him in the
sack.
Nard.
It was unbelievable.
I've always wanted to know, because my son asked me this. Do they wear cups or not?
No.
Never?
No.
Now, I mean, Mike, you'd know.
Some
You're
might.
No.
No.
Nope.
It's definitely not the wide
I will-
receivers.
so that
running.
went square
Here-
in the. That was a direct hit.
There, you can often tell that guys are not wearing cups in football pants, guys.
That's you know
Okay,
what?
all right.
You know
Good
what?
counter argument.
That's
I've seen some of those. Yeah, you know, we joke about how stupid it is for defenders who, when they lose their cool, they will close fist punch a helmet.
I mean, yeah.
This dude's smart. This guy's like, he ain't got
I'm getting
no
my
helmet
money's
there.
worth.
Yeah, if I'm throwing a punch,
If I'm gonna get a game for punching you in the helmet, I'm
I'm
gonna
punching
make
you in
this
the
count.
helmet. Yeah,
I mean, goodness gracious!
you got to look up. You got to look it up on X
Oh.
because it's really unbelievable that a human like. That takes some gumption. There's no mistake. There's no accident. He wasn't trying to punch him in the leg, and then he just lowers down and goes.
He got him in the leg. Rashi Rice limited on Monday's estimated report hamstring. We'll have to monitor that. Rice has a great matchup this week. Pacheco full participant.
Did we say that Higgins is out?
Yeah, we did a
Okay.
bunch of
Sorry,
times, a whole bunch.
I'm,
Third time we're reporting that one.
I have lost track of things after that
After the nut
conversation.
punch. All right, that was News and Notes, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates, third-party insurers, not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. There's no insurance for that. Let's talk waivers.
The Waiver Wire, presented by Jimmy John's.
Well, the Broncos, Chargers, Commanders, and Dolphins come back from the bye week, and we have nobody on bye for week 13, putting the Mega and Megalodon. We have all the matchups to talk through. We'll start that tomorrow on the Megalodon show. It will be a lot of fun. We'll have a giveaway tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we
So
will.
you'll want to listen in. I think we've got a Jamar Chase jersey, a Josh Jacobs jersey, both signed. And then we're going to probably add some more stuff into that as well. Big Megalodon
Brooks
giveaway.
is so sweaty right now. He's like, do we?
Oh, we do. We've got a Colston Loveland mini helmet.
Signed.
All right.
Signed
Nice.
by Mr. Loveland.
Oh, and Kyle wants to give away Josh's
Loveland?
job. Loveland?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I call myself.
If you,
Mr.
you
Loveland.
wouldn't Loveland, you would be
I'd
Loveland.
be Loveland in certain situations. This show is good. I'm on vacation now too, Jason.
Yeah. Welcome. All are welcome on vacation, guys.
Let's talk waivers. Starting with the running back position, we're on like injured running back return watch for Trey Benson, for Amarian Hampton, for Bucky Irving. Like these are big deals. They're big players that can make a huge impact. Like all will be forgiven for the injured weeks if Hampton or Benson or Bucky can bring you a fantasy title.
100%. And we won't know by the time we record the Megalodon episode for sure for most of those players. It'll be later in the week. So you'll just have to pay attention, follow us on X, and we'll tweet out what we can.
At the FF Ballers. Yeah, we'll be watching for the Hampton news. We'll see if he comes back after the bye week. That's what the rumor was. They got to designate him to return first. What else do we have, though, beyond, Trey Benson, 69% rostered.
Yeah, just take a peek. Like I can't imagine Hampton's out there, but Trey Benson may have been dropped in some leagues. So just go. I mean, like you got office leagues out there where Benson might be available.
It was close to having him return this last week. He was eligible to return, I think, in week 10. So this is a player he's ready, and they've taken their time. I think Benson plays this week.
And I think
Bad matchup, though.
Against Tampa Bay, and then the Rams, and then Houston. So it's a really tough stretch.
Holy, I didn't realize that.
But I think Benson he's a very good player, and I'm excited to see what he can do now that it will be his opportunity with James Conner gone.
And we had an injury to Bam Knight last week.
Yeah,
or at least that was what we.
Yeah, he got shooketh. We don't have any updated information on it. But if Benson's back, I think it's Benson's. Like he will get the majority.
Running backs averaging 20.9 fantasy points per game against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay right in the middle at 15 right now in terms of fantasy points.
You got to catch passes, which Benson can do.
Devin Neal. Let's talk about Devin Neal because
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara is going to miss some time. It could be a lot of time. And Devin Neal, we would have been talking all about the opportunity and for the Saints
Kendre
for
Miller?
Kendre Miller, but of course we can never talk about that.
How sad.
Just
Devin
like
Neal,
we'd be talking about Marshawn Lloyd once Josh Jacobs went
Yeah.
down, but we can never talk about that.
I love that we get an opportunity to talk about Devin Neal because this is a player I know both Mike and I loved his college tape. This isn't a superstar. We didn't see him as like, oh, he's Bijan. But Devin Neal was like, this is a really good player.
I think he's very interesting.
A jack of all trades. He can catch the ball very well. He's decent around the goal line. Jack of all trades, master of none. A quality back. Now, unfortunately, he's on a really bad offense that doesn't project to score a lot of points. So you've got to temper your expectations here. But the nice thing is, like, sometimes the backup that is left to go, like a Bam Knight, is like, this is just a guy, some journeyman, undrafted free agent who injury has propelled him ahead. Now, Devin Neal fell to the 6th round, but I think he's a good back. And this last week, he got targeted 7 times, caught 5 of
which
7
Kamara
passes.
has not done.
So that's wonderful
year.
to see. Now, if Kamara misses a lot of time, we're towards the end of the season. I don't know that you need to rush Kamara back to save the Saints season.
He keeps
like that.
missing the end of seasons, by the way.
He really does. But his playoff schedule, if this goes for the rest of the season, is Carolina, the Jets, the Titans.
Sure.
So it's
Opportunity knocks.
exactly.
And Devin Neal answers.
I think so.
10% roster. He's a priority ad. You need to put somebody on your roster that can get the majority of snaps at running back. So he's kind of is he on the top of our list outside of Benson?
Yes, he is for me.
And then Kyle Monangai, pay attention because we already know how capable he was when Swift missed time. Swift fumbled, wasn't productive, isn't their dude.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle Monangai, another touchdown, 3 straight weeks, 12 for 48. He runs with ferocity. He falls forward. He breaks tackles. It's not a good stretch, though.
Oh,
it's
bad as they come.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really want like the Caleb Williams right now. If I had Caleb Williams, I'd be trying to find options quickly because Philly, Green Bay, Cleveland, 2 of them on the road.
Sheesh.
You're going to make mistakes because he's always good for that. And then it's just going to be like low upside situations for Caleb Williams. I'd be trying to find like if I've been rolling with him, I'd be trying to find some pivot.
Yeah, so the schedule's tough for Monangai. The good, exciting thing is, Mike, this was a guy you were talking about early in the season as you're looking at who could maybe overtake the starter, not just injury ahead of him. This last week, I know that there was a fumble, and I don't necessarily think that it has happened, but he got more work. He was more involved, more snaps than DeAndre Swift while Swift was healthy. So as the season progresses, the rookie Monangai could overtake Swift. Swift is not so talented a back that he just can't hold off Monangai.
It's possible, and Ben Johnson has, slower than I would prefer. He's really slow played the rookies because of with Loveland and
Loveland
and Luther Burden and Monangai, but they're starting to get more opportunities now and could be second half guys.
Don't forget Chris Rodriguez, who got the majority of the work for Washington coming off the bye week. Hit a lot of waivers, but 15 opportunities on the ground in his last start, 79 yards on that. And guess what? It's a lot better for him if Jaden Daniels returns to this starting lineup at some point. He's only 29% rostered.
So versus Denver this week, you don't love that, but perhaps Jaden Daniels is back next week, and then you get Minnesota and the Giants. Chris Rodriguez, even if you're not playing him this week, you might want to just get that running back depth ready for your playoff run.
And he's going to be their dude around the goal line, 100%. Even if the carries, if you're not 15 or you're not efficient, he scored in 3 or 4 games before he kind of took over. Bashal Tootin, another one to pay attention to, but the workload, it diminished quickly against Arizona. He had gotten banged up after the productive week before. Dylan Sampson is the pay attention just for the Judkins practice reports. Dylan Sampson's probably not somebody you can start outside of pure desperation if Judkins is active. And then, Arizona, it's not a guarantee Trey Benson's back this week. So if Bam Knight's banged up, Michael Carter can catch passes. You could do worse, right? I'd still play Michael Carter in the pass catching probably.
If Benson's out?
Over Bam Knight, but I understand the debate if Bam Knight is practicing.
Pretty tough.
Bam Knight would be the touchdown guy.
Also, your insurance running backs. People. If Brian Robinson, if we're really at 35% in sleeper leagues, I would not be having Christian McCaffrey without Brian Robinson on my bench at this point of the season.
If you had no choice, you'd drop Kamara for Neal. If you don't have an option, no IR spot.
Yeah.
And then Ramondre and Tootin, those are other drop candidates people have brought up.
Yeah, I'm not dropping Tootin.
No way.
I'm adding Bashal Tootin if he's around and I have a spot. Ramondre is you might have like a Charbonnet situation up in New England where it wasn't an incredible, amazing fantasy performance by Henderson, but Henderson did get the snaps and he got most of the work. Ramondre might be good for a touchdown, but I'm fine dropping him.
I want to hold on to him for at least another week. I mean, Ramondre only played 31% of the snaps, and so you go, is that Travion Henderson, or is that just first week back from injury?
Yeah, it could be.
And so this week I think will be very telling. If he's again 31%, then you're going into the bye week, and then you would expect a rookie out of the bye late in the season to get even more work. Then I think you can move on.
All right, we'll take our first break and come back with some wide receiver waiver pickups. Wide receivers, let's talk about it. I would not pick up Brandon Ayuk.
No.
Neither would the 49ers.
I don't know if we even talked about that.
On the show?
Yeah, did we?
That they're going to release him? Probably didn't.
That they over the weekend it came out that they had figured out how to void all his guarantees.
Shanahan came out yesterday and actually confirmed that they did that in July.
We did that in breaking news.
Okay, we did. They voided.
Really? I hadn't heard that.
He said that they voided
July.
it. Yeah, the comments from Shanahan were that they voided him back in July and that it was related to some other stuff. He kind of dismissed the meeting, not showing up at meetings things because he said any player on IR, they're not in the routine of the meetings. Their schedules are all over the place. But he basically said they did void it earlier in July. But, I mean, these two...
There's no way he's coming back then.
Yeah.
No, of course not.
What are you trying...
No, but Brandon Ayuk, I'm telling you, I said this before this even reported. They hate each other.
Yeah.
It does seem
It
that
is like
way.
a personal... I mean, he is voiding $25 million. You're not coming off the severity of that injury and going and collecting the amount of guaranteed money he is voiding. It's wild. This is like a bag fumble of epic proportions. And he did not want to sign this deal with them, and it became a desperation situation. Remember the deal was like locked up with Pittsburgh, or he was going to go to Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I mean, he wanted out, and they forced his hand, and now he's like, I still want out. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah.
He'll find a job.
He'll find a job. Yeah, no question.
The question
He's
was
still
always,
young.
is it going to be Debo or Ayuk? And the answer was neither.
Right.
You're right, yeah. But pay attention to Jaden Reed, by the way.
Yep.
Designated to return last Friday, coming back, practicing. And don't forget, I mean, Mike Evans is technically eligible to return at some point here after Week 13. I don't know if he will come back, but they could use some players. And Garrett Wilson, eligible in Week 15. That one's kind of, like, I've let him go in leagues.
I totally understand letting Garrett Wilson go, but I mean, if he comes back and seems healthy, it wouldn't, I don't know, weirder things happen in the playoffs.
All right, top pickups at the wide receiver position. I've loved everything I've seen from Parker Washington since he became a high priority wide receiver in Jacksonville. He's 56% rostered, had another 7 targets, 5 for 71 and 1. The matchup is awesome this week for Trevor Lawrence against Tennessee. So I think Parker Washington is a plug-and-play option.
He sure could be, and that just means he'll probably disappoint. But I've got him at the top of my list as
been all
well.
right.
He's been really good.
He's been all right. I mean, the last 2 weeks prior to this was 33 yards and 20 yards. So, and, yours truly played him for one of those, and I feel the burns. So he has been the number one target here. They've got Jacoby Myers. I don't know. Have we heard an update on Brian Thomas Jr.?
Not lately.
He's not missing the rest of the season. He will come back at some point. As far as a plug-and-play option, I think Parker Washington is there. He's had enough fantasy points over the last 2 months, enough targets. Christian Watson is available just as much as Parker Washington, though. Against Detroit, his target market share was great. He had 7 targets this last week. He had 2 touchdowns the week before. I think I would rather have Christian Watson because not only is it, I know
I would rather have Watson than
Jaden Reed is going to come back at some point, but Christian Watson I feel like is a bigger play home run hitter than Parker Washington.
I'll take Parker Washington.
Now, what do you think happens with Parker Washington? Let's say Brian Thomas Jr. comes back 2 weeks from now, and now you've got Brian Thomas Jr. plus Jacoby Myers plus Parker Washington. Plus, remember, they got Brenton Strange back, and that was a target that they had been missing for a while. At that point, I feel like, I don't know, I think Parker Washington is a very short-term rental, but he has been very good and, a first-rate guy there.
Yeah, I mean, it would change a lot if Brian Thomas Jr. is back, but he's not yet, so I'd ride Parker until then. I mean, when they had Travis Hunter healthy, there were games where Parker Washington had 11 and 10 targets, so I think he's fine right now. Watson definitely can take the shot. I just think that Watson's total, you just need to get the big one. I think Kayshon Boutte is one that you want to pay attention to. Another week removed from injury, 50% rostered, had an end zone target he drew a PI call on. That's where they use him, right? He's a touchdown scorer. They play New York. They're at home. I think Boutte could get back
to scooting.
Sure.
Okay, there we go.
Right.
Get it moving.
I want to point out Jaden Higgins, who has been even better than you think over the last couple months. Really, after their bye week, Jaden Higgins, it was the second-round rookie wide receiver for the Texans. The matchup against Indianapolis this week will be 44.5 point over/under, so that's fine. And 2 weeks ago against Tennessee, he was an inch away. He got taken down at the 1, at like the 6-inch line. And so had he just gotten that in, I think we'd be looking at him very, very differently. That would be 4 touchdowns in the last 5 weeks, much more involvement. And he's a good player. He showed up in good spots. I don't know if we're unhappy with the quarterback situation where we're not sure who's
he's just going to be touchdown dependent because his yardage numbers haven't been there.
I haven't.
He scored 3 times, but 34, 42, 55, 38. I think that's what it'll come down to. He's big enough to do that. It's
funny because I agree. It's like we look at different things, right? Touchdown upside, check. Yardage, very much not check, right? Those aren't 55, 48, 34, 38, not good enough. But then you look at the targets, which is really what is usually the indicator of how many yards are you going to get, 8, 7, 7, 9. Like that, I want those targets. It's just been Davis Mills targets, and I don't know if it's really that much better if it's C.J. Stroud targets or not.
Davis Mills is 3-0 right now.
I know. He's been playing. Dude, Davis Mills.
I know they've won every week, but you just sometimes you haven't stopped to think about the whole, the collective.
It's Davis
Mills just won 3 games in a row.
It's a little Mac Jones, Brock Purdy. It's a little the defense. The defense
sure.
is so good, so it's like,
this is not an anti-Stroud take.
No,
this
it's
is
just more
you
get more ceiling with Stroud, I think, still, but Davis has been great.
Davis is on a 17-game pace. He's started 3 games, 3-0. He's on a 17-game pace of 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions.
Okay.
Yeah, Nico was good 2 of the 3 starts, I believe, as well. So
C.J. Stroud's headache is going to continue?
I don't know.
Nah.
Headache. You called it a headache.
I'm just saying the symptoms.
Yoshi Voss last week, 7 targets, 4 for 61. There'll be no T. Higgins. It's Baltimore. It's a big game on Thursday. Yoshi Voss only 36% rostered. That's plug-and-play option this week as well on the short week. It'll be Joe Burrow. So that'll be an interesting game to see what happens. I mean, Lamar's been so blah.
Right.
But it's Cincinnati. Like you're at the only point of your life you might be able to make Lamar a start of the week type of situation because he's been so bad. Luther Burden, it's still tough to play him.
Yeah,
I get that.
He hasn't had, he just doesn't play a lot of snaps. It feels like, to me, he feels like playing like if I had Loveland and I had Burden, and I had to flex one of them, I would play Loveland every week over Burden.
Yes.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
so he feels like kind of a lower tier version of the Loveland start right now in the offense, where Odunze and DJ Moore are going to still be your premier guys, but you do have a shot. It's just the touchdown upside comes with Loveland. 3 catches in 3 straight weeks, 51, 27, 46 yards. Snap count was at 51%. It's just, I don't know if he can do enough to make himself relevant every week this year.
He definitely
but the
cannot.
future could happen.
Yeah, the arrow is pointing up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you pick him up and start him. I don't even think I would pick him up, because what would have to happen? You'd have to have an injury ahead of him for him to be consistently involved enough. He's still like playing. He's up to playing half the snaps, which is great trajectory. But he's also, if he was playing 50% of snaps the whole year, you'd be like, you can't play that guy. He's playing half the snaps.
If he went down to 50% of snaps,
Exactly.
you'd be like, crap. Yeah, he's a player I've had on my roster 3 times this year and dropped him 3 times because he feels really fun to sign on waiver day because he's a young rookie, and then you go and you get 2 or 3 catches and you're like, oh, am I ever going to play him?
Right.
I would add Jaden Reed. I mean, I'd add Jaden Reed to the roster. I think there's a real need for Reed.
Okay.
I feel the need for Reed.
And he has had a history of fantasy productivity. I'd put him on the roster. Do you guys care about Chimere DK in Tennessee?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because do you realize like DK is on pace for nearly breaking the all-purpose yard record in a single NFL season because of how amazing he's been on punt returns?
Yeah,
like
he's such a good returner.
he's the best returner in the game. And they criticized the drafting of DK quite a bit, and now he's had a few productive weeks in the receiving game. Io Manor was out. Ridley is gone, and the matchup this week specifically for DK is great against a Jacksonville team that struggles against the
No,
pass.
if you need a start, I think he is in line. You can put him in there. You've got 3 of the last 5 games where he has been a top 24 wide receiver, double-digit fantasy points, and he's a rookie that should just keep getting better. And also Cam Ward has been looking better. So it's not just, here's a rookie wide receiver figuring it out. Here's basically a rookie offense that should be getting better. I think DK is a very important pickup.
Mike, other names at wide receiver that you have interest in?
Also, if you're searching for DK, that is spelled D-I-K-E.
Right.
If you're like going to your platform,
Yes.
and you don't know how to spell Chimere DK.
Yeah, Chimere is Chimere as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
none of that sounds like it's spelled.
Yeah.
Mooney.
Don't sound it out.
Mooney for Atlanta. Maybe as long as Drake London is out. And then if you're in the mucky muck, the guys from the Jets, I mean, I hesitate to even bring it up, but they both had 7 targets. I'm talking about John Mechie and Adonai Mitchell.
Well, with Taylor, you have a shot.
Yes. So and look, Atlanta, and then Miami, and then Jacksonville. I mean,
who would you take a shot on there? Adonai
between the
downfield
two,
or Mechie?
I'd go with Mechie.
I think I would too. Yeah, because Mitchell has 1 catch, 2 catches. Mechie,
It's
a little bit better floor.
both of them. It's fascinating. They higher drafted guys seem like they didn't really get a true shot. Like Mechie, we had the year 1 was lost to the cancer treatment, and he just never truly found a spot for the Texans. And then Adonai Mitchell, of course, was talented, but got punted off of a bridge by the Colts after the mistake. So they'll be fun to watch. Not that I'm clamoring to get them into the lineup, but in deep leagues, I'm okay picking them up.
These are the final 2 weeks before your fantasy playoffs in the majority of leagues. So this is like nitty-gritty time for some of these starts.
Right.
The drop candidates, I think there are 2 names that are really interesting. Addison, like if we're sitting here talking about how much of a struggle it is for Justin Jefferson, Addison feels...
I'd watch the new guy before
You'd get a Brosmer?
I just everyone not named J.J. McCarthy succeeds for Kevin O'Connell and his offense. Everybody. So I would at least go 1 week and see
Xavier
what
Worthy?
Max can do.
I would be fine moving on from
Yeah.
Xavier Worthy. He had 8 targets last week. It was his best game in a while and still wasn't pretty relevant.
Ricky Pearsall?
No, not yet. Not yet. I mean,
It's getting tempting.
yeah, it's getting louder.
I don't have the snap count that he played. He was 75% in his first game back, which was the 1 for 0 game, 2 for 6 this week. And I mean, it's a tough situation because we know he's a really talented player. He really had 2 good games this year, and then he got hurt.
Right.
It's a pretty small situation to make a judgment call on the long-term viability.
And
he may not be fully healthy, is my point. Like, he may not be.
He may not be. And,
he may not be himself.
And if you look at the overlapping map, week 1, Juwan Jennings was still coming off of his preseason injury.
Yep.
Week 2, Juwan Jennings healthy, has a great game. Ricky Pearsall does not. Week 3,
Interesting.
Juwan Jennings is out. So
two
maybe that needed
non-Jennings games were the Pearsall games?
Yes. So perhaps that needed more attention than I gave it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take another break. We got tight ends. We got defenses. Very important this time of year. And we'll talk streaming quarterback options if you are a wild and desperate soul.
All right. We are in the heart of the fantasy season, and the injuries are already piling up. ACLs, stingers, and turf toes, oh my. In fact, the only thing right now that feels good is having the perfect backup ready to go. So wouldn't it be great if you had a perfect backup in real life too? With Progressive, you get more than just a policy. You get a playbook full of coverage options that you can count on for your home or for your auto. You want to customize your protection? No problem. You can build your coverage just like your fantasy team, making sure you got the right players in every position and a backup plan when you need it most. And when life throws an audible, like that fumble in the driveway or a hailstorm at home, Progressive is there with 24/7 support. Don't get caught without a great backup. Visit Progressive.com to quote today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party issuers. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to term, policy, limits, and conditions.
Well, let's take a quick second to thank our sponsor, Jimmy John's, also the new sponsor of our Sunday Live segment. Jimmy John's is here to keep you fueled through Sunday football, and they just rolled out their toasted sandwiches last year, but they didn't stop there. They now have a limited time offer. We tried them all here in the office. Jimmy John's is bringing you pizza sandwiches. You had me at pizza sandwiches. Available in 2 flavors. Enjoy a melty combination of Parmesan, provolone, mozzarella cheese, spread with marinara and oregano basil on perfectly toasted French bread with their 3-cheese pizza sandwich. And if you need something with more protein, you can do what I did, which is accidentally steal one of the other employees' sandwiches, and I ended up with the Sicilian pizza sandwich layered with salami, capicola, and ham. And, of course, spread with deliciously melted mozzarella cheese on top of it as well. Oh, that's good. Jimmy John's new pizza sandwiches available in 2 flavors, 3-cheese pizza sandwich and Sicilian pizza sandwich at participating locations for a limited time while supplies last. Okay, I think tight end is a little more interesting than it's been.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys agree?
I agree, but I'm shocked with who our number 1 is, not based on the player, just based on the matchup.
For this specific week.
Matchup, Jason. You're still trying to.
No, this says not. Look, Colson Loveland is a good player. The
Still
whole
over here doubting the dog land.
the whole conversation on Colson Loveland has been, the fun dog conversation.
Yeah.
That's all good and fun. But if you need to start a tight end this week, I would not start Colson Loveland against the Eagles. This last week, Ferguson was okay. He was okay. Outside of that, no one's been okay against. Like, Philly shuts down the tight end. And Colson Loveland is not this he's getting 10 targets a week type of player. I think there's a lot of guys on waiver I would start over Colson Loveland.
Okay.
Now, in long term, if you want to say, like, well, I want the rookie, I want him for the playoffs, great, scoop him up. But I just personally wouldn't be playing him.
So then who's your priority pickup for this week?
Is it Stranger Things?
Yeah, I think Brenton Strange, who was a target in the draft season for the Jags, you saw Trevor Lawrence last year target Evan Ingram like crazy. Britton Strange looked like he was going to be a thing, and then he got injured. Tennessee, Indianapolis, the Jets coming up. If you need a start this week, I think Baker's back. I think Cade Otton against Arizona would be a better matchup. And then don't forget Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is, has been very involved and has been playing good.
Superman plays good.
Thank you. This last week, again, was a bad matchup. We knew that going in. Buffalo is one of those teams that shuts down tight ends as well. I'm not going to be afraid of one bad matchup against a team that shuts down tight ends.
Do you understand, though, emotionally how lame it is?
To put a claim in on Schultz over Loveland? How lame that is?
I'm not doing that.
Really?
I'm not doing that. No. No, I'm going to play the more fun, explosive, young player whose snap counts are going up.
Do you want?
I get the
Do you want a
Strange.
sports car?
I think
or do you want a
Strange-
mid-sized sedan?
I think Strange is a better play, probably.
But
I still might not
agree.
do. I still might not do it.
This week, I can agree that Brenton Strange is probably a better play than Loveland.
Yeah,
but,
the sports car versus the
you're getting a nice.
like the golf cart.
I would do it. I wouldn't even call him a golf cart because golf cart is a good time.
Okay,
You ever
it's a golf cart with a governor.
Have you ever driven a golf cart and had a bad time?
No, it's fun.
No, I have never. Not once. Dalton Schultz has been a top 10 tight end 4 of the last 6 games.
Yeah.
No one's debating that.
It sounds like you guys are really debating.
No.
He's not even a golf cart.
Speed wise,
Sure, no, speed. I mean, Zach Ertz is the same thing.
I would call him
where
the
it's like-
governor, but I wouldn't mean it like the leader of a.
right.
I'd mean it like what restricts an engine's speed.
I like that. He is definitely the governor. No top speed.
But I get it.
man.
No, you're right. I would just have a hard time, me personally, sitting down in emerging.
I get it. The breakout could be
emerging player.
happening. The breakout could be happening on Loveland. So, I think there should be a bet here: Loveland versus Schultz.
What's the matchup for Schultz? This
Schultz
week?
is Indianapolis.
What's the bet? Is it
Just
coolest catches?
No. Just fantasy points, half PPR.
No,
Schultz
I'm
versus
not. No,
Loveland.
you're probably gonna end up right. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it. I'm just explaining
Okay.
it
Yeah,
from a
that's fine.
fantasy manager perspective. I love Loveland.
Yeah.
And
From a fan to
from a
see
fan to
perspective.
If I'm
perspective,
picking up a tight end, I'm not like I don't know that I want to be like, okay, just 1 week for Dalton Schultz to give up potentially the rest of
Sure.
the season for Loveland.
That
that's
is
what
a
I mean.
legitimate argument that I think is fair. If
I get 5 points from Loveland this week, so be it.
which
I would
one
rather
of these
have him.
guys could help me win a championship,
Yes.
it is certainly Loveland over Schultz. So please don't hear what I'm not saying. I am definitely saying that this is a weak matchup where I think it is bad for Loveland this week against Philly, and
It
that's
just
it.
matches what you've said all year. Is dunking on Loveland.
everything's a bad matchup for Loveland.
Loveland.
But I love Schultz. Call me Mr. Schultz.
Doctor.
You got Schultz as one
Call
of your
me
neighbors,
Dr. Schultz.
and then your other neighbor is Cade Otton.
Yeah, don't forget about Brenton Strange.
Yeah, Britton Strange is all right.
Yeah,
He's all right.
Yeah,
And Darren Waller's on a flight back home, fellas. He's in the air. He's coming home to daddy. Come on. I need you. I need you, Waller.
Coming home to daddy. Good luck. Good luck on that one. The best part
he
is
likes a long ramp
if
up.
he's back, you've traded for so many tight ends. When he comes back, you have to now choose between them. You know you can't make that choice correctly.
I'm not joking. I was looking.
Are you going to cut some of them to make it easy?
I will have to, but I was looking at my my situation
you have
this
Gadsden.
week. I have Gadsden, who I traded for.
Yeah.
Looks like he could be a potential. I still think he's got the potential
He does,
high upside
yeah.
league-winning talent. I have Mark Andrews, who obviously stunk this last week, but this last week, my start of the week was Hunter Henry
This
because
is
it
a
was
great
against
week for
Cincinnati.
Andrews. Great week for Andrews.
Great week for Andrews. So can I cut Andrews?
No.
No. Can I cut Gadsden, who I traded for?
Can't
No.
cut that guy.
Dude, Waller, take another week. My roster can't take you coming off IR. Don't come back this week, buddy. Stay in that air.
2 tight ends on your bench
Two-
and one in the starting position.
But maybe 3. Yeah, like I can't do that. I will have to cut these guys. You can't cut that guy.
And then pay attention to the emerging Gunnar Helm in Tennessee. I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually been kind of okay on the target front for him. He was 6 for 51 last week. Cam Ward playing better. Matchup for Cam Ward's good this week. Colby Parkinson taking over at tight end for Los Angeles. We're talking desperate play here. Hit that nasty button for Colby Parkinson. And Fannin, Barner, they're all in that category. Let's talk defenses. Jacksonville plays Tennessee. Now, I'm in a pickle, and I want you guys to talk me through it.
It's
because I picked up Jacksonville a week ahead because I saw the Tennessee matchup. It's in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great matchup. Jacksonville's a good defense. They've double digit.
They sack the quarterback a lot.
I have Cleveland, and I keep seeing these dates on the Cleveland schedule. It's like, oh, we're going to play, what was it? Was it Baltimore?
Mm-hmm.
And then I just played them straight through Baltimore. It worked out great. Now they got San Francisco. And I'm like, I think I just need to play Cleveland.
I would play the Cleveland Browns
over Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's at home.
That's one of the big differentiators to me when I'm on waivers.
They had 10 sacks last week.
Whenever I'm on waivers and I'm looking at matchups that are similar and I'm trying to decide between them, if it is remotely similar and one of those teams is home, I'm always going to choose the home defense. It is a way better bet, and they're at home. I mean, Brock
the problem
Purdy
is
just
I don't want somebody else to play Jacksonville.
Roster 2 defenses.
Would you?
It is the time.
I mean, that would be the time to block somebody, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
it
yeah.
could be. I'm not rostering. I'm rostering 3 tight ends, brother. I can't pick up another.
You can't listen to roster management from this guy.
Yeah, and Brenton Strange is out there if you want to pick him up out of 4th.
Delicious.
Yeah, Cleveland. I just
Can
feel
I
like stay
mush them together and put them all in one starting spot? Because then I'll roster them all.
Nope.
Okay.
I'll let you start him at running back if you want.
Interesting.
If you want no risk of starting the wrong tight end, you can start them all. Yeah, so you stay in the Flames. Myles Garrett needs 5 sacks in 6 games to break the record. Seems like he's going to do that.
You've also got the 49ers on the other side of the ball against Cleveland and Shedeur Sanders. I think both of those defenses are very, very good players.
Oh, man, that could be a low-scoring game.
And 49ers, they play on the road against Cleveland. Then they have the unfortunately timed bye week 14. But then they play Tennessee after that. So the 49ers, I had brought them up like 2 weeks ago with that stretch run, and I still believe in it.
How do you feel about the league's best defense, numbers-wise, Houston? They have to play Kansas City or Indianapolis, then Kansas City, both on the road. That feels like another one where people are benefiting from playing Houston week after week after week, and then you get these matchups, and it's like, do I play the matchup game or do I play the better defense? Because it's like Cleveland.
Yeah,
their defense is so good.
so good.
I mean, they just played Buffalo. You don't
it was a great start.
You don't want to play them against Buffalo, and they put 16 points up, and I don't think they had a defensive touchdown. I can't imagine going away from the Texans.
So Cleveland, Houston, you're sticking with them. The Rams play Carolina this week. You just saw Carolina last night. The Rams defense is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good one, 59% rostered. Who are the Falcons? We don't know, but they play the Jets. That's generally been really good, and they have the 3rd most sacks in the National Football League. Tyrod Taylor probably makes some mistakes in this game, probably has a fumble.
Would you go Chargers?
Oh, I love the Chargers.
Versus the Raiders
Love
or
them.
the Falcons?
Chargers off the bye.
Chargers
over
at
the
home,
Falcons,
off the bye against Geno Smith, throwing interceptions like crazy. Greg Olson's not going to fix that. Maybe a banged-up Genty. The Chargers I picked up last week for this week. I think they're one of the best.
Chargers, I think, are the best widely available play at the DST position this week.
And the Cardinals are
and
sneaky.
The Arizona Cardinals are who I was going to bring up next.
There's maybe no Baker.
Jay, maybe Baker's back, maybe he's not. Yeah, I mean, if he's not, for sure. But even if Baker is playing with that bum arm, I don't. And the way that the Cardinals defense, they can do, especially with Nolan stepping up for him.
Do we know if Will Johnson's going to be back yet? If he's active, I would play the Cardinals defense. Nolan, their first-round rookie. Will Johnson, their second-round rookie. These two guys have been they haven't played much this year. Nolan missed the majority of the early part of the season, and Will Johnson's missed a lot of games later. But when they've been on the field, they've been outstanding.
I don't see anything on Will Johnson yet.
Yeah, he did not play last week. That was this week's Waiver Wire presented by Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's new toasted pizza sandwiches available in 2 flavors, 3-cheese pizza sandwich and Sicilian pizza sandwich. Oh, that's good at participating locations for a limited time while supplies last.
Full stream ahead.
let's let Mike kick this one off because
because I was first, and it's Jacoby, Beef, Brisket, Brissett will be the stream of the week until you people pick him up and play him.
Can't believe he's still on waivers as much as he is.
He is. It's wild. Thank you. Since week 6, quarterback 3 in fantasy points per game and total fantasy points, and that includes a bye
quarterback
week.
3 is still out there. What's the roster percentage? Do you have it?
I'll pull it up real quick. I had looked at it yesterday when I was putting in, and I was shocked that people aren't picking up Jacoby. We're at 51% on sleeper.
Half of leagues still just sitting out there.
I mean, maybe that you're saying, oh, my competitive league, he's not there, but half of leagues, man, you could just pick him up and play him, and it's gonna. And who cares as long as Trey McBride is active. I don't care what wide receivers are out there. Jacoby's getting it done.
Michael Wilson.
You should have Harrison back, and Jerry Rice is on the other side.
I think, I was going to say Marvin Harrison is. I know he's been a little bit disappointing so far in an early career. He's going to be great. He is a fantastic wide receiver. He's a fantastic wide receiver too, and now he gets to play that role.
Yeah, that's true.
That superstar Michael Wilson
just needed an opportunity.
Goodness gracious, how could he be that good in these last 2 weeks?
Because he has been hidden by Kyler Murray for years, apparently. And then they took Marv, and so the scheme is going to be Marv and Trey McBride. And Wilson finally got an opportunity.
Here's a fun stat: most receptions in a 2-game span this season. Jamar Chase has had 28 in a 2-game span,
which is ridiculous.
Second most, Jamar Chase with 26 in a 2-game span. Third most, Michael Wilson with 25 in a 2-game span. Marvin Harrison Jr.'s most ever in a 2-game span, 11. Ever. I mean, young career. That was Underdog NFL on X found that.
Honestly, it feels the way Jacoby's playing. I mean, these last 2 weeks, what is he, the quarterback 3 and 6, and it was without Harrison?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you have Harrison, Wilson, and McBride, that feels tough to stop. Like, Dortch has had good weeks for 2 straight weeks.
Dortch!
What a Dortch.
Jason.
I've got Trevor Lawrence. Since the bye, he's actually the quarterback 7. The last 4 weeks, 3 out of the 4 weeks, he's been a top 12 quarterback. He's quietly having 5+ rushing attempts in each one of his games. And he faces the Titans team. We talked about them. I like that their offense is getting it together a little bit for the Titans, but their defense is not good enough. They're 24th against fantasy quarterbacks over the last 5 weeks. So T-Law you could play off of waivers and just...
Man, I hate that dude.
Don't watch him. Don't watch him.
He's on pace for, like, his last 4 games, 25+ interceptions. The Jameis Winston plan.
He is the most inconsistent quarterback in the National Football League because
on a play-to-play basis.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Not on a week-to-week basis, on a play-to-play basis. You watch him and you're just like, oh, I get it. Superstar. Mobile, runs out, rocket arm, unbelievable talent.
There's some comparisons with Caleb.
And then it's just
right
like
now, Caleb Williams and Trevor Lawrence. Frenetic.
Yeah, but if Caleb Williams is like this this is year 5. This is not like, oh, he's a young guy. I mean, he's young by age.
You're right. You should expect it from Caleb. You shouldn't expect it from Trevor Lawrence after the paycheck.
How many games? He started 71 games. You gotta be consistent.
You are what you are at that point.
Yeah, we know who Trevor Lawrence is.
And to Caleb's credit, he's only thrown 4 picks on the season. Trevor Lawrence throws 4 1/4.
Mm-hmm.
They still won. 3 picks last week. Still beat Arizona. We suck. All right. My stream of the week has about 5 maybes. Give me some underpins.
Yeah, you want 1, 2, or 3?
Maximum.
Yeah, max.
Unobtainium underpins.
Maybe.
I get it.
Cam Ward.
I get it.
Maybe Cam Ward this week. Jacksonville, they give up a ton of points to the quarterback position, and you're coming off the best game of the year for Cam Ward where he actually finished in the top 5 at the position. Maybe against Jacksonville, 28th against fantasy quarterbacks. It was Seattle that he did it against. I mean, that is very unexpected.
He was very good last week.
So it's a thin group of streaming options this week, and so
that one's tough. He hasn't finished inside the top 16
until last
week.
We put the call out, like, wait, who actually played Cam Ward this week? Because we had the good puns. I feel like every single one I read was
2-quarterback league?
It was in my dynasty league. I had to pull him off my taxi squad and put him in. It was like everyone was forced into playing Cam Ward last week if you played him, and it worked out.
I have one quarterback-related Jacoby question I just saw over on X. John wrote in and said, I think I might pick up Jacoby and start him over Caleb and start him over Burrow this week with playoffs on the line for your team.
I mean,
I would definitely play him over Caleb.
The process says that is a thing to do.
This answers why there's 51% roster.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
I'm saying over Burrow. Like,
but Burrow doesn't have Higgins, and Baltimore's defense has been good. And
and that's what I'm saying. It makes sense.
How do you argue with quarterback 3 since he started?
You argue it by saying
he's Jacoby
Brissett. We know who. We talk about Trevor Lawrence, 5 years. We know who he is at this point. Maybe you don't, because how many years has Jacoby Brissett played? I'm going to count him.
Well, the last time he got to start games consistently, he had his Joe Flacco in Cleveland year. He was Cleveland started.
Yeah, he was drafted in 2016. He's played 10 years.
He is playing out of his mind right now.
He is
67% completion percentage. I mean, quarterback rating of 97.
Well, because he has there is nothing for him to lose. Like, what are you looking over your shoulder at who else is going to come in?
Well, if you look over your shoulder, you can't even see the guy behind you.
Exactly.
He is tall.
Exactly. But I mean, that has to the psychology of that has to have mattered.
I had my dad over for dinner last night, and this was the funniest thing because he likes the Cardinals, but he doesn't follow it very close. He's like, I can't even name players anymore, and he was just talking about he got to watch this last week, and he says the most.
I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, he goes, they showed that quarterback on the sideline. And I don't know if it's okay if I say this, but I was like, finally, that's a man. I was like, yeah, no, I get it. Not a little baby boy Kyler. He's like, hey, our quarterback's a man now.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Oh.
And he plays like a man.
Oh, he does. He stands in the pocket. He can take a hit.
Goodness.
All right. Nobody wants to hear about that anymore. Tomorrow, the Megalodon episode.
Megalodon!
Make sure you're ready for it. It should give you enough content to prepare you for Week 13. Everything you're doing through the entire 4-day weekend, and we get a lot of football in these 4 days, so it should be a lot of fun.
Black Friday.
Yeah, we get it all.
Yeah. That'll do it for today's episode. Check out jointhefoot.com for our fantasy football community, and we'll catch you on the Megalodon.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.